Hey, everybody. It is Thursday.
What the fuck is going on with my camera? Freaking camera.
Yeah, because you broke your camera again, didn't you?
That's when I bounced on the floor a couple. This is connected. You suck. The hell? Can you hear me?
It is Thursday. It's from the barracks. We didn't do our normal Tuesday night stream because I was too busy driving back from New York from Syndicate 4. So we're going to go over quite a few things. Wiener is frozen.
Hell, I'm not even seeing shit. Can you hear me though?
I can hear you. We just can't see you.
Well, that's maybe a good thing because I'm ugly as fuck.
Well, that's an understatement.
The camera's on. It kept saying connected, but now it's you piece of shit.
Try logging out, logging back in again.
No, I don't want to do that because of freaking shit. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to freaking reboot my computer. Maybe it's not that.
Try just going in and coming back in again.
We'll try it again. Give me a second here. Come on. Whoop. See, it says disconnected webcam, and now it says nope. Now it says disconnected. Cute. Let me get out. Hang on. I'll be back. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.
We're gonna wait for Weird to come back in.
Leave. Where the frick is leave? Oh, there it is, way over there. They moved it again on me.
Blow on the cartridge. Hold. I'm not gonna repeat that. All right. So we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be doing our Syndicate 4 AAR. We're gonna go over a few things. Once that's done, we are gonna jump into talking about the battle over Six Flags. Not the battle for Six Flags, but the stuff's going on between the two sides with the Six Flags AO. We're going to be joined in a little bit here, once again, hopefully by Wiener, but also possibly by Papa as well. Papa says he's going to need a few minutes to get home to get to the home office, so we're definitely going to let that happen. And maybe Beowulf will join us for a little bit. So while we're waiting for him to get back on, let's talk a little bit about something that came out over the weekend that a lot of y'all didn't realize probably happened, and we're glad to see it come back. EG67 got their exception again. So EG67s are no longer banned by the ATF. They're going to be coming back into stock, from what they told me just yesterday, in about 6 to 8 weeks. So June, July, they'll have EG67s back in stock, which is good because I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting those back to use those. And, I personally like them a little bit more than the Taggins at Mid-Orange, only because they're quieter. So we're just waiting for Wiener to get back in. He probably is going to have to restart his entire computer. With that being said, we could go over a few things that are coming up in the near future that we're going to be going through that maybe give these guys enough time to get back in. I love how Facebook sends me the reminder after we've been online for 5 minutes of, hey, make sure you're live at 7 o'clock. So we have upcoming stuff, as we always lead off the events with. Hey, look. Here he is.
Oh,
the man, the myth, the legend of the shortest stature but biggest heart, Greg Paparisi from Dead End Outfitters. Following right behind him, it's not a party till he comes out.
The bitch.
Wiener from New Breed Airsoft.
I was trying to log in to my account and then share this out.
Okay.
But I jumped in too soon, I think.
So, I was just going through the announcements. Gentlemen, I don't know if you heard or not, but
you're pregnant.
Why don't we keep the jokes down to a minimum tonight, okay? But EG67s are no longer banned by the ATF.
Woo! Yay!
So,
give me a case, Greg. Need a case.
Let me get right on that because I'm sure I'm the first one to get them.
What's that when you get them? Good.
And supposedly they'll be coming back in stock in 6 to 8 weeks. So mid-June, end of June, beginning of July, they should be back in stock so we can have them. And as I was just explaining, I actually prefer the EGs over the Taggins from Mid-Orange because they're quieter.
The 67s are quieter than the ARG4s?
Yes, when they went off. they were actually quieter because I was there when a couple guys threw them in, and the guy goes, "We could throw this." I go, "Yes." He goes, "This was on Sunday." I go, "You sure we could throw this?" Like, throw the goddamn grenade.
Yeah,
I
my
used
ears are still
partial.
ringing from the stairwell from those grenades.
Ooh, the one that went off right at the one I had to go lean against the wall for.
Yep. That's when you said, "Yeah, you look like you're having fun." To me, as I'm trying to rush up the stairs and everybody else is just staying behind. You fuckers.
Well, we're definitely going to go over the AAR just a little bit, but of course, before we start, we'd like to talk about what's coming up and what we're going to be going to. So, this Wiener and I don't know, we haven't talked yet, Papa. Are you going to go to Jack's Fest?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
I
actually
know-
sponsoring the Tech Talks, and we're doing at least one. We're waiting to find out if we're doing all of them or not.
And that's on Saturday, May 25th. Am I right on that?
Correct. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
I knew
does
I had
anybody
the
know
time
what
you
the
got it
following
right.
day is?
What's
It's
that?
Memorial Day weekend.
Does anybody know what the following day is?
It's not your birthday, is it?
Your birthday.
Yes, it is.
Ah, look at that. You're getting old.
It's
Starting to look it too.
gonna be 27. You kidding me?
Yeah, 27. 27 for the 27th time.
So
Close.
we're going to be at Jack's Fest. All three of us are going to be at Jack's Fest. Now,
Yay!
I'm going to show up and then have to leave right at the end of it and go
Who
back
cares?
home.
We're good without you.
Jeez, bro. He's
I'm
aggressive tonight.
getting scooped here.
So I got to go back down because I actually have to help out a buddy of mine, possibly with a music festival down here, down south, down by us. So, all right. So after that, June 1st is Airsoft Palooza, and I believe Wiener and I are going to that. You're going to that one, Wiener? That's one we fly to.
I know. I have to double check my bank account on that one.
Yeah, because we got to get some stuff.
Yes, we do.
We have to get some flights booked and all that, and then hotels figured out. I know I'm going to that one. I'm not going to miss it again. High Grounds Airsoft, if you haven't ever played there in Houston, it's actually a really nice indoor. It's an old Walmart that they converted over. What are you doing?
My teeth look super white on the screen for some reason.
Hey, what's up, Trust? What's up, Trust?
I mean,
All right. Then, of course, the weekend after that is Geigerlands. And then I honestly have nothing else on the schedule because it's June and it's hot. We'll address that.
Listen.
Hold on.
I gotta say something about that.
Hold on. No, I want to start off by talking about that to get into it before the entire thing. So
Talking about what? Wait. Talking about what?
About
the heat.
Oh, the heat. Oh, okay.
This year, for some reason, everybody's like, "Man, it's so hot." Look, we've all been playing airsoft. I've been playing airsoft here for the past 12 years in Florida. It's no hotter than it was last year. And do you have a copy of your Farmer's Almanac handy? Go get your Farmer's Almanac. Go back 10 years and tell me what that summer was.
Gotta go back in time.
Okay?
Back to the future.
No hotter. We just freaking forget. Like a woman having a baby. It's like, it's never going to go through this again. 2 years later, hey, you know what would be nice? Little baby. So, okay? It's no friggin' hotter than it was last year. It's not going to be any hotter. Stop it.
Speaking of babies, I want to go ahead and give my boy Brandon, I play Call of Duty with him, a major congrats. His baby daughter came in 2 weeks early. She was born over the weekend. So I don't know how the hell you have such a beautiful baby with your ugly ass mug, but congratulations, sir, on your newest addition to your family.
Who is it? Brandon?
It's my buddy Brandon, yeah. He was the one that periodically he would come in here and just smack talk and like, are you gonna get off this goddamn live so we can play Call of Duty yet? So do you guys have anything else coming up in the near future, like up through June? Because I don't have anything.
Nothing through June other than first weekend in June. I got to walk through at a place. Not telling you what it is yet because I'm not going to jinx it, but we got to walk through.
I got game days.
Here in Florida. You can't go.
Jack's rubbed up on Papa on his line.
Wait, no, hang on now. Steve, you just got to go back. Steve, remember when I used to be on the stream, I would go off on tangents like that.
He would. About once a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh shit, let's get the popcorn. It's Papa tangent time.
It happens.
It does happen.
But listen, being back on the road 13 days, coming home and just like landing in an empty bed and a pile of mess. Because I got like five, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 orders came in for shipments. I actually 5 of them are for barrels, which is awesome. And it just hit the ground running with everything happening. I got the lease back, and had to actually make a ton of edits to the lease and send that back out. So that's
Thanks, Tubbs.
Thank you, Tubbs. Appreciate it. Oil. This Jason is ridiculous. Jason actually just filed for civil union to his oil filter. By the way, just so you know, it is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, he's perfect. So it's funny. A perfect fit for that little hole in the end, so he's good.
Wait, we can't make those jokes anymore.
I didn't say nothing.
I think that was a racist joke because he's Asian. Is that what you said?
No,
Reader?
No, that's Steve.
Well, Jason's half Asian.
Jason's a confused Asian.
Anyways,
is it okay to say Asian? Oriental's a bad one, right? You can't say Oriental.
Oriental's a really bad one. You should not say that ever, unless you're talking about rugs.
I still don't know why. I don't understand it.
Steve, explain that to us, please, sir.
It goes back to. I'm not getting into it. I'm not turning my stream into that apolitical stream.
I'm trying to get you demonetized without showing a gun or swearing.
Oh God, yes, you're right on point there. All right, so let's jump into this. And one of the first things I want to talk
about. Oh God.
All right, so we're going to jump into the Syndicate 4 AAR. Before we really get started, I want to thank everybody that came out.
Everybody
to the
was
event.
rubbing me this weekend.
You got to stop.
No, somebody else was about to want to rub me. I said everybody was rubbing me this weekend.
He's addressing a comment.
Yep. See.
Okay. So I want to thank everybody that came out that put their heart into this game. They put all the effort into it. We tried to make do with some very bad situations that happened out on the field, and I want to thank everybody that came out: Papa, Wiener, Killjoy, and Whiskey for being the COs and XOs for the event, and all the other subgroups that also led their platoons and everything else. I want to thank Drust for coming in last second to be a red shirt on point. We had some other red shirts that came in, never really done anything with us before, never been to one of our events, and there was some miscommunication, but at least they showed up and tried their best at stuff that was there. So jumping into the AAR, we're going to address some of the player concerns and stuff that came out of this. And one of the first ones I want to talk about came up about complaints about porn jokes and grabbing dicks. This is the one I saw flying around the most that was saying that it was being weird. And sometimes you have to draw a line when you're talking about events and stuff that are happening. And you have to make light of it to convey the message across. And we did not convey effectively in every single safety brief. Why were we emphasizing guys don't have porn out on the field? Or when I was talking about the Nikolai mission, where I would not be holding guns, carrying guns out. I did it in a joking fashion to make levity of the situation, and I should have probably been a little more serious. So the reason why we say no porn out on the field is because some guys think it's funny to go and put gay pornographic like full nude men with on people's kits.
I never heard anything.
It was at every single syndicate, and it was at some of the scorched earths. They would do it. They would stick it on your plate carrier. Some of them were even patches. You're
talking the cards?
The cards, the playing cards, yeah.
Some had Velcro on some didn't. That happens at every event.
Yeah, but we were trying, because of this location, we were trying to make sure that, hey guys, don't do that. Not here. It doesn't belong here. Kids play here. It's inappropriate, especially with some of the guys at some of the past events made melee weapons out of adult toys. Some of you all remember from Syndicate 1, Dick's Caliber, that we then had to ban moving forward. So that portion of it is to make sure the players don't bring that stuff out onto the field because it's not welcome. We're not allowed to have it. The other one was the Nikolai mission. In 2 of the Nikolai missions, in Syndicate 2 and Syndicate 3, I literally had people that were searching me so aggressively, they put their hands down my pants. It was meant to be a lighthearted joke, but one guy literally reached his hand down my pants and grabbed me. Now he was not doing it intentionally. He wasn't doing it to assault. He was literally searching for weapons. And sometimes people get eager and everything else. And when they lifted me up, my pants were my pants literally the button got ripped, and we had to readjust because they were going to fall. So most of it was done to give some levity, give some lightness to it, but also remind people sometimes the best way you get that burn into people's brains is to make them laugh about it. So we said some jokes about it. People felt it was weird and creepy, and then they referenced stuff all the way back from 2018, which if you actually research further, I owned an adult board game company called Black Label Games. We had a particular game that we were talking about pitching and doing that included an adult thing. You crank it and go like that. It was called The Game. And a woman decided to make a bad joke to some other friends. Next thing you know, people were saying that I said something that never actually happened. If you want, go play test my penis. The story's out there. You can read all of it. The woman that made the claims ended up getting kicked essentially out of the industry for lying, plagiarism, the whole 9 yards. So if you're wondering why this stuff we were trying to do that, we're trying to make sure that people were not there. And yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing Kevin or whatever. I don't know how to say your name. I think it's Kev. Look, Kev, I get it. And if it wasn't a place where kids attached, where kids played regularly, like every single day, there was kids playing soccer at the soccer field, with the exception of when we were there, I would say I wouldn't have cared. Like Creston, we turned a blind eye to it and says, but I guess when the second guy brought the things that Syndicate 2, we're like, hey, no more of that. Those aren't melee weapons. That's just weird. So I wanted to start off talking about that. And then, of course, we have a man who's on the street right now whose last name is Wiener. There are definitely going to be Wiener jokes. It is what it is. We're airsofters. We're adults. They make some jokes, whatever. I understand.
The Wiener jokes were not bad. They were not over the top or anything like that. That I heard out there too. Just so you know, it was not. I mean, even when I was up there telling him what my last name was, someone who didn't know. So hopefully we straighten some of that out.
Yeah. So as most of the tomfoolery was kept at a camping area for that reason, I'm glad it was kept at a camping area. I mean, that's a joke I've been saying forever. So, all right, Gab, I'll talk about it. We've said that before, and it's a joke that we've always said to make sure that people understand. Don't feather the trigger. Again, we say it for levity. I never named an individual out there for that, but I mean, it's a joke that we've always said during the safety briefs to sort of get people to lighten up and understand. We don't want you feathering the trigger. Sometimes jokes fall flat. It's in certain regions. We didn't realize it was going to be that offensive up there, so we'll just take that out for future games. It's really not that hard. Nobody at the time said, "Hey, that joke was kind of offensive."
Sorry,
whatever.
No pun intended there, by the way.
Huh?
You said it wasn't that hard.
Let's not have those jokes tonight, please.
Listen, man, I'm sorry.
I know.
It was just poking out there, and I had to
stop. We need to stop. You need to stop. I mean, so people have some serious issues about that. They're here inside the chat. Take it seriously for what it is, Greg. It's inappropriate. All right. Well, I mean,
thank you for the.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean,
moving forward,
we'll just take the joke out of our thing. So we just say don't feather the feather. This is the first time in 11 games that we've gotten that complaints about that.
Thank you.
So
moving forward,
yeah,
we won't do it anymore.
All right, we just won't. So let's jump into stuff that went down when we set up this AO. We got this AO. We had this big old map, right? We had everything. We were going through trying to make sure we had everything in play and good to go. This information was also given to the town. We met with them in February. Actually, We met with them on Friday before the Super Bowl. So we were there talking with them, making sure the event was going to go off. And at no point, we told them everything that we were going to be doing at this event, including the grenades and everything else. So everything was provided to the town. Now, what happened between the 2 months after, I don't know. I don't know if they looked stuff up. I don't know if they went through. But when we showed up on Monday and met with the town supervisor, concerns were suddenly arised about the camping, and when they came out on and the grenades. When they came out on Tuesday, the camping was totally nixed down in the lower camping area, and now we had probably one of the largest groups of campers that we've ever had for an event. I want to say there was over 100 campers that were out there, and we had to move them somewhere. We just couldn't tell them you can't camp because players planned for this. So we ended up taking around 25% of the AO out of play. Problem that comes up with that is it created a massive dogleg. You no longer had the maneuverability to go around. That is definitely something that that we are going to be addressing in the future, because it's not the first time that that's been mentioned to us. It's not acceptable that admins or refs or anybody allows the feathering to happen. They should be following the rules. And to go on that, the way that we're solving that problem is that every single ref, every single red shirt that's walking around on the field has a copy of the rules in their back pocket. Hey, what's up, Toucan?
Toucan.
So everybody has a copy in their pocket, so there is no discrepancy. They could pull it out and read it, because but I want to go back to, I don't want to jump ahead, I want to go back to this portion of it. When we took that section of the field out, you've now condensed the overall maneuverability of the field. You can't have people running through the open field, coming up the side, fighting up the hill, fighting through the brush to come at D at a different angle, allowing that movement to flow. And I've always said it in previous things when you're talking about it, when you have two large armies, they're moving around. They're much harder to move around as opposed to 100 little individuals. That's why Geigerlands could always have more players at an AO than others. What's up, Augie?
What's up? You call him, what's called a wiener?
Banana.
Banana, I was going to say. What's up, banana? So when you have that sort of thing, you have to take it out. You have to make adjustments. And we try to adjust it on every single Evo to see what spawns were going to work moving forward. Anyone else get really sick? Not, I didn't.
No, sir.
I didn't.
So I heard a couple people that got a cold or something after the event. I was expecting to get sick because of how much lack of sleep I got. No, you cannot bring a horse. I mean, unless it's like Papa's horse that he had at Thunderdome 3.
That was classic.
A wonderful horse, and
he's got to go adopt a new one, because didn't you give that one away, or did you keep it?
Absolutely.
Yep. See,
every time I'll do it again too.
All right. So, and then there was also miscommunication on the camping, because in camping, I told everybody had to get their cars out of there. Some people didn't move their cars, which definitely became a problem on Sunday when we tried moving stuff around.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I'm not getting in. I'm not. We're not. We're just going to keep moving forward, right? So,
I'm a famous weeder.
So,
Papa, do you have any comments about the map change?
I do.
Okay.
So, all right. Oh man, my comments kind of flow together in regards to some of this. And I want to start off. There's going to be positives and negatives in all of these. I mean, anybody that's ever heard me, on your streamer, I'm not just placating to you. This was a brand new AO. My opinion is maybe we should have called it like a beta test or something like that, because the first time everybody coming there, and especially with some of the adjustments that had to happen, more than one, it really did cause some problems for me. Seeing the map and then getting on site and seeing the whole thing on site was very, like, some fences, like we knew you can't shoot through fence. Cool. That's an easy one. You're not allowed to shoot through fences. You're never allowed to shoot through a fence, but you can. Great. Awesome. But you can play alongside some fences.
Here, take this
you
with
can,
you.
there was a lot of, there were some of those You can here, but you can't there. And then if you look at the field after it got chopped up, it really became confusing because, well, now I'm walking in the parking lot, but I can play here. And, like there was a lot of that actually happened as well. And I definitely think caused some confusion. And I can understand where some people would be confused. I personally don't understand, and I obviously I've never understood the anger, this was disgusting, the split. Stop. We played airsoft. Was it a different and at sometimes difficult environment to navigate? Yeah, sure. But it was the first time there. What did we find out? We found a lot of things. We found out that that it'll fit that many people, but will that many people play there? That's two different things. When I had op, I was 7.5 acres playable. I fit 196 players on that field one time.
Dude, that was a fun.
No, you were shoulder to shoulder with your enemy. So, does it work? Can you make it work? Yes. Should you make it work? Maybe not next time.
So,
Maybe you add a player cap.
I haven't jumped into the number, but we have put a lower player cap in for Mid Orange. Yeah. Any of the big games moving forward will be capped at 350. Plus, at the same time.
I'm sorry, Jason.
Oh yeah. Then K. DeVere right after that. I like his analogy up there.
Yeah. No. You're right. You're absolutely right. For sure. Go ahead, Mark.
So what I was going to say was that moving forward, there's only going to be two types of camping that you guys could do there: RV camping and camping inside the dome with those restrictions, because we need that extra space that was taken out of the map to be added back in. We need it. You need it for maneuverability. And then moving forward, building M is not going to be used for combat because building S is going to be airdrops only on either side.
What was wrong with M? M was
the problem with M is if you're trying to navigate up to do anything in M, you literally were going to have to walk back past the spawn point, and it just won't work. Yep. It just taking M out of the equation for future games makes it like it's going to be in play for Geigerlands because it's a low shooting event. There's not big armies going around. They're going to be in the that's going to be the Asylum's main base where they do their stuff with all the evil stuff because there's actually cages down there.
If I may, can you maybe put an asterisk next to that and discuss it for future? That's one of the two buildings that was better for indoor play.
As it stands right now, there's that asterisk. As it stands right now, building M is going to be out of most play. The only thing that makes sense is that we have to find a way, if building M is there, that it's clear delineation of spawn points for either sides for people to be able to respawn and go into perspective buildings, right? And building M and the door that face the building M is the most problematic because you have two doors that face right out into the football fields in the center. So that was like the other thing. One of the only ways you can get in is either by that one door that faces towards Delta, or the one that's right there. The two doors that are right there that face right to the football fields, and we have to restrict that. So let's talk about some other stuff that we've already made changes on going forward. So actually, let's talk about rule changes real quick. There was only 2 rules that officially changed throughout the event. Now, we understand that there were some admins that were maybe throwing out new rules that we didn't approve. But midway through Evo 1, we realized that the burst, SMG burst indoors had to go. Too many people don't know what burst means. They were going full auto. So we removed it at the end of the Evo. Huh. I know. You're going to say it. So you can say it. We had to play to the lowest denominator.
We didn't want to say it. And anybody all means, I mean, I'm not a fan of those 4 words in that order. So, you
told everybody that was sitting there for the admin brief that that the
dumbest
reality
room and first guy to cheat. Talk to those 2 people. And the reality is semi-auto anywhere, burst anywhere equals full auto because people will feather burst mode.
Respectfully, we respectfully, yes, you were right. We tried it and we said it in every single safety brief. We don't want to take it away, but if we have to, we will. And we did. We took burst or the ability to go anything other than semi-auto indoors away. At the same time, though, we got the word that grenades could be unlimited grenades inside the building. And that's what we did. Unlimited grenades in the building. Now, between Friday and Saturday, the only rule that changed was grenades, one per squad, per respawn. That was it. And I want to give all the players mad respect. For the most part, that first Evo when it came to grenades, it was not abused, and because it wasn't abused, and we had no mishaps with misfires being outside, we got the ability to have as throw grenades to your heart contents inside. Because they were concerned about the sound, and then after that we had like 2 missed throws outside after that. But even still, you couldn't hear it, so it alleviated concern. So moving forward, EG67s are allowed back on site in S, in M if M is open, all buildings. Same thing with tag AFG4s. The AFG6s, as it stands right now, are still a little bit too loud, and Thunder Bees are too loud. As it stands right now, we are going to try to get them accepted for future games. So that's the only 2 rules that changed over the weekend. Yeah, that we already know about, Joseph, and I will tell you right now that particular admin is no longer part of our admin team. There's also an embedded admin.
I was on my phone. Sorry.
Yeah, the embedded admin that a lot of people had issue with has also. We're not using names here because we're not about to blast people that have worked for us. They've already been talked to. We're just telling you that they're no longer going to have the bans on them or represent us. There's some others that were new to us that this was their first event with us that came in a pinch because we lost 8 red shirts before the game started due to life.
Due to life.
Due to life.
You said
not due to. No, I said due to. It's just that.
Go back and listen to the recording. You said.
I got chapped lips right now.
That's your excuse now. Okay.
If you notice, I'm not talking. I look like Portia, like Sylvester frickin' Stallone, with half my face like not moving right, because I'm trying not to stretch my lips out. So those were the only 2 rules that were changed. Now, other changes that we've made. If you have an MED, you have to break the plane on the first floor. Second floor, you don't have to break the plane. That's another change that we made due to player input and everything else, and also due to admin input.
Admin input.
Due to.
There you go.
We're just going to keep laughing.
Yep, that's correct. Because not to. They're going to get it, flip it.
You said it already.
Thank you.
So, because of player input, that went away.
Augie knows what jungle juice is?
All right. So, does anybody have any questions like Papa? And I want to say something else for everybody that's inside the chat right now. I really want to say thank you for being respectful because, we want to address and make sure that the events go smoother. This is not the worst event we've ever run. That was actually lockdown, but this competes with it for stuff that happened.
Well, hang on, and there's again more asterisks there, but
yeah.
So I do want to say something first to DEA, to everyone on DEA. I do owe an apology from the initial start because I did no prior planning. Not an excuse. I had personal reasons. Things that had come up and all of that. It's not an excuse by any means. I did have a plan, and I made sure to get that plan out, although it was delivered quickly and abruptly at the start of the game. I just didn't have the time, mental, and emotional space to handle all of that beforehand. And so I owe an apology to everyone for that. In the end, it worked out, obviously. And I want to thank all of DEA for understanding, everyone for playing the way they played with respect. I actually want to thank Cartel as well, and I said it mid-game, after the game. Very seldom do you play in an environment where there was the kind of brush that we were playing against. I'm actually speaking very specifically about a particular engagement. Uh, I'm outside the door. I'm broke the plane of a door outside, shooting across to the side of another building. Heavy brush, but I can see movement. I see them, and I'm shooting through the brush. Hit three different people, three different times, and all three called it. It wasn't like I had to keep shooting to get them to call it. Hit them. They yelled hit loud enough, stood up, threw their hand up, saw the red. All three of them did it. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful gameplay from what I could see and everybody I engaged with. Absolute wonderful gameplay. So I want to thank everyone for that as well.
Papa, I want to thank you very much for that, Papa. I just want to put this one up here real quick. Shocked that it wasn't your worst event. Lockdown was the first event that I ever did that we ever ran. I went up there and took over for another company I'm not going to mention right now. That person was dead in the water. We had weather issues. We had site issues where you couldn't learn the site. And going to a first time AO, sometimes you have to find where the sweet spots are.
Sorry,
Hold on.
Andrew. I'm sorry. Did you have a problem with my gameplay? Did you see me not break the plane at any given point, or are you just throwing that out there because there was a lot of people that didn't break the plane? I prefer specifics because it sounds like you're trying to call me out.
So I'm going to go back to saying what I was saying about like AOs. Sometimes you have to find out, and you don't know until those first boots hit the ground in large enough numbers on where the flow is going to be. You might think, oh yeah, they're going to hit this building nonstop all the time. How do I get in there? Push it. And then all of a sudden they're like, what the hell are they doing way over there? You sometimes don't know until it goes through. And sometimes you think you have a right spot for spawns and you don't, and you have to adjust. And that's sometimes what has to happen on some of these events. And you have problems like that, and you have to have the ability to adjust, maneuver, and try to make things work for everybody.
Correct,
and that's where we were at with this one. So it's no means a success of no means why we're going to call this a victory lap running around, but we learned a lot of stuff from this event that we've already made modifications to. We've already changed rules for to ensure that future games are a hell of a lot more fun. And we've taken the feedback. So some people don't like some of the jokes that were being said or anything else. And we're like, okay, valid. I'll just take those comments out and I'll just go back to saying what for certain things. And we could just go from there. And Andrew, you're absolutely right. Some admins were screaming and yelling about it. Others were whatever. They didn't care to enforce it. And one of the major problems was that none of the admins had a copy of the rules in their back pocket to refer to. And we have a printer on site. You were playing, dude. You were an embedded admin.
Please, well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say, please be careful how you say what you say. When you question someone else's integrity, they can take it very personal. I do everything I possibly can to lead by example. So if you saw me not break the plane, please let me know. I'm happy to have you call me out on it if you think that happened. And if it did happen, then I need to improve my gameplay. But I was out there making sure when I was out there, and I was out there day one, making sure my guys played a very particular way, made sure that they did break the plane, made sure but the ones I was around, there were 200. We had 221, 200. I think DEA had like 221 players. I was not around all 221 players at all time. I can't say that I did. I know that the ones I was around, I did everything I could. I also know that you didn't see every ref stop and check every single person breaking the plane. I know that because I was unaware of this, but the running joke you have with some guy where you walked up and went ahem behind. And
yeah, that was. I came into building M, and there's a sniper aiming down the hall of building M, right. And I went up and I just went ahem, and he thought it was his buddy taking his piriture, and he looks up, he goes, what? And I was like, I see a bolt on that.
Oh, of course there were people. Yeah, and so for Radiant, you're absolutely right. That happened on both sides, as it always does in airsoft. You are 100. You guys are both 100% correct, but not everybody did it. Some people played with integrity. Some people had a wonderful time, and constructive criticism is a fantastic thing. It helps grow something from bad to good.
All right. Moving on to the next part. Let's talk about an admin real quick, or somebody that keeps blaming us for an admin. There was a kid that was 13 to 15 years old. He was wearing a red hoodie, and he had press on his thing. I was told when I was originally contacted about allowing him to go out to take pictures, I said yes, he's got to be in a high vis and going around. I didn't see this kid running around because of where I was positioned out there. He was not near me. This kid was running around. He would periodically take his eye pro off, which is unacceptable. We never did that. I would never put a 15 or 13 or 15-year-old as an admin, period, full stop. That was never the case, right? We never would have had that happen. I talked to the person that was responsible for this child and told him they're not allowed back on our field. He was told to get the hell off the field, and he came back on the field as soon as people turned their backs, and I had to kick him off a second time. So I understand that kid was a problem, and he was a problem, and he got kicked off. I would never in a million years put somebody like that as an admin on my field. In fact, my daughter, who's going to be 18 this month, while she had a red shirt on, her staffing duties were mostly up there. She was there to learn so she could become a better admin, and she was always shadowed with somebody so they can make sure that the stuff that she was saying was correct. And so far, nobody's come at me that my daughter had an issue, but if she had an issue with my daughter, by all means, please tell me so I can teach her to be better.
She kept disappearing with mute, so she was no problem.
Johnny Ramirez, yes, I took my goddamn eye protection off to take my glasses off to put them on. I said blind man, 1 second, went up to a dude, took my glasses off, put them back on. You already know this. It's already been addressed. All right, but let's talk about other people that decided to come onto the field
and then
with eye pro that was not appropriate. That's something that, gaskets coming out and everything else. People, each time we find it, we're going towards those people saying this is not acceptable. You're an adult. So, yeah. I know what I did during a ceasefire, during a blind, because we already called a blind man and already told everything to go down there. I need to have the ability to be able to see. I did not have my regular glasses I could put on underneath over these. So, because I'm still waiting for my shooting glasses to come in. So they are full seal for there. So I got a prescription so I can actually read numbers on a screen. Okay? You got it? There you go. This I'm going to be angry about because I've already addressed this multiple times, why my glasses came off. And we made sure, we went in immediately to Chrono to find out what was going on because somebody's iPro, which were M frames, which were ANSI rated, cracked.
There's I did see several photos, and I've seen this on our field. I only get 85, not 500, on a game day. There are guys that will go to safety brief, that will go to Chrono with their gaskets in, and then we'll take them off. Now, I don't understand the purpose of taking them off. I never have. It's just dangerous. I like my eyeballs where they are. But we constantly watch it on the field. It's more difficult. But guys, you're checked for a reason. And in the future, if you're asking the question for a solution, that means in the future, everybody's going to be checked, and then you're going to be penalized. And by penalized, thrown off the field with no refund is the only penalty I can think.
That's exactly what's going to happen. So
if you're intentionally cheating, then that's what has to happen.
Thank you, Soulful Radium.
And also, thank you very much, Soulful. There'll be more. You guys can watch us on YouTube later to catch up on the stuff there. The other thing too that I want to address, because I'm going to go through this AAR pretty quick. I'm going to address the stuff that's already, the rest of the stuff that Matty Mo gave, and we've taken all of it. Johnny, you already know that I already addressed this and I already talked about this. All right. So when it comes down to the kid, how do you not see him? It happens. The kid came back out. He got kicked off the field. I saw him come back on the field. I said, get the hell off the field. One of the problems that we had was our control gate was no longer in use because everybody was camping on this side of it. That gate that you go through to go down to camping and everything else was now where camping was. So we had to take that out. That was supposed to be our check and capture point and also our inspection point. That got removed. People were supposed to do it and check at their things. The admins failed in that regard. We've already addressed that, and we're changing it moving forward. All right, that's what we're doing moving forward. Moving forward, that gate is the hard point. There's nobody camping down there. There's nobody going to be down there. So when you guys go to come on the field, you have to funnel through that gate. We check your iPro, we check your wristbands, both the skirmish and the other, your event band. We check your iPro to make sure it is full seal, medic card, and then you go out to the AA. That did not, I can tell you, that did not happen the way it was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen at the AAs, and for what I'm hearing from people, it didn't happen.
If I may, so you're.
Hey, Wiener, can you get up and turn around for me, please?
Oh, is that what you want to see?
No, you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
That's it. You got it.
You know, you're addressing the things that were wrong and that you're changing. I'm going to say that don't be quite so specific about what's going to change. You have an intent to make these changes, but there's definitely changes going to happen for safety purposes and for play purposes. That's going to come about in the next game. I'm saying that because like some of these guys are going to hold you to your word, and if it changes one way or the other, I don't want their expectations being set to one way, and they're like, oh, see, he did, because a lot of people get up in arms, a lot of people get excited, and they're quick to change and judge. Somebody said it earlier. People complain if they want to complain so much. Start your own company. I'm not going to say quite like that, but I will say this is not an easy thing to do. To run events, to corral people, to find a location that's appropriate. I get on a weekly basis, people tell me, hey, Papa, I found perfect land for you. I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, 4 acres over here. Stop. 4 acres doesn't house anybody.
Go ahead.
But
continue, because I'm going to address this next.
Yeah, it's not easy. So, like I said before, constructive criticism. Judgments only create defensiveness. So if you saw something that was wrong, if you saw something you need to discuss with any one of us individually, feel free to reach out. If you want it to be public, then that's fine too, but be appropriate. Don't come after somebody and be ignorant about it. Have actual statements and comments to be said. Make sure it's all valid and true. You guys, Andrew, I appreciate the way you came about it and finished off the statements. I apologize. Who else said something? I just want to make sure I don't want to offend anybody, but there's definitely so the rating appreciate it as well. Yeah, there were a lot of problems that happened, a lot of little things, because there's a lot of things going on. All of them are being addressed. Every part of it's being addressed. By the way, I am not a part of this company.
No, he was just the CEO. Periodically comes on the show.
And my whole role out there, mine and Wiener's whole role out there was to make sure everybody with us had the best time they could possibly have. So we really, really did what we could. And I want you to know it's going to change. It's going to get better. And when you see people post trash event, really ask them why. Ask them what really happened. Find out, because it's easy to say that. But if you had a bad time, because I had a phenomenal time, especially Saturday night. I had a great time Saturday night, you know?
Let's burn through a couple more of this. Let's burn through the rest of this because there's stuff. You talk about at the night game when the grenade went off and I was just like woof, and I went outside and I was leaned up against the wall because that one went right off my nuts. I never got hit in the head with a grenade. I got hit in the butt with a grenade quite a bit. So that's it. Unless somebody is injured, you don't call blind man unless they actually need attention. So yeah.
Hang on. Zero reason. Andrew, real quick, you are correct. Sometimes not everybody has a particular temperament, and yes, sometimes it's very difficult, and tempers do rise. You are correct that every ref, whether it's in baseball or airsoft, should be able to maintain their.
Let me just do it this way. If you guys have an issue with the ref, right, I need to know who that is. I cannot address it with like talking to all the refs. I need to be able to find out and identify. So if you have descriptions of the person that was doing this, please send it and it will be addressed. Just like everything else we're doing here, it will be addressed. All right.
But thank you for saying it, Andrew. That every single incident like that needs to come out so that it can be addressed. Johnny, I
Job?
appreciate that, by the way.
Job, I want to address this one before I go through the rest of the stuff that was there, so you guys can hear the stuff that we did, because we do have to move on, and we could spend hours nitpicking every single portion of this. Just know that all the feedback that we received, we've modified and moved on. The whole shooting outside then inside out was total shit show. How are you told you're okay to shoot from an outside in and be told 5 minutes that you can't? That never should have been told to you. You always had the ability to shoot outside in, inside out. I don't know who got it in their head that shooting outside it was suddenly a problem. I agree with you. That's bullshit, and it's been addressed, and it will continue to be addressed. That's also a valid concern, Johnny. And when we started hearing about that, we went through to modify it. I want to go on a couple other things real quick. Somebody said there was a hard time finding information. It was not on the Facebook page, but it was on the website, and there was stuff pinned inside of there. But we'll make sure moving forward, information's pinned in multiple places so it's easier to find information. Let's see here. Camping coordination. There was supposed to be coordination where people were supposed to go to the north of where camping was, north of those stairs. People didn't. That was the coordination for the person that was supposed to be watching that failed it. I'm sorry that you guys were told to move when you shouldn't have had to move. The chrono team was told to stick to the rules. We had 5 new chronos there. If 2 of the old chronos were used, sorry that happened, guys. But if you being 0.01 over, that chrono team was making sure that the guns fell within the legal limit. So sorry if you did not enjoy the chrono team there, but they were trying to be positive there.
Later, Soulful.
The break into plane was modified. All right, let's talk about the Bravo 4 door that had almost a ramp going down it because there was wood across it. That was on both sides, had red tape on it for a reason. That door was supposed to stay shut. Somebody opened it. And anybody telling you to jump down, it's been added to the rules. You do not jump down from things. We don't allow that here. We don't allow people to be jumping out of windows, climbing over things. We certainly don't want you jumping over an unsafe doorway. I need a description of whatever admin told you all to do that so I could address it and make sure that never happens again. So thank you for informing me. Too bad it was on Wednesday and not earlier in the event so we can get it shut.
Andrew, the disrespectful piece is the most important, as far as I'm concerned, as a field owner, and that's the thing that's most important to me. By the way, not to underplay, unaware of the rules and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, look, you can hire as many people as you want and teach them the rules and all that. It's the disrespectful piece. If you have information about that, if you are aware of that, you don't necessarily have to put anybody on blast publicly, but please reach out. For whatever reason, obviously, welcome to message me if you want. I don't care, but please reach out to marketing players wanted to let them know specifically, because that is unacceptable.
And everybody that was, and Papa and Wiener could both attest to this, I say you represent me. So you're given the proper flack that I deserve to get, because those admins should not have been disrespectful. They should not have been rude. They should have been upfront, and they should have kept a level head. So yeah, I need to know that. So
please, for real.
Your EMT. So Buck was yelling at players when they were doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing. There was a combination of things going on. Buck and I, when we had the blind man incident with the iPro getting shattered, Buck and I were yelling, admin coming in, blind man, admin coming in, blind man. And then we got lit up. We got lit up coming in, and we're still yelling, ceasefire, stop. And then they were still on. I said, stop effing firing, because people are shooting me as an admin, telling you all stop firing. Now, that was DEA doing it all the way in the mess hall portion of M. So, yeah. Okay, Job, we've already addressed that we need more professional, better admins.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Somebody yanked your buddy's gun. That's, again, something else.
If Buck yanked somebody's gun, I'll have a conversation with Buck. He's right here in chat right now.
Yeah, I know you want to move forward from some of this stuff. So, guys, it's not to discount anything you have to say, but every single thing we want to be addressed, and you're welcome to put things public. Of course, it's not to silence.
You can't have air horns at that event, guys.
Yeah, the admin has to be able to get over there respectfully and manage
Hold
things.
on, hold on. When we were going through doing chrono, um,
Let me
no,
get out of my room. I don't know.
no,
I don't know.
I that
I don't know what that means. I don't
I
understand.
anyways,
What
I'm not going to go through the nitpicking. We already addressed it. We're moving on. Um, if you think that it's being dismissive, I'm not being dismissive. We have the information. We're moving on. I'm not honing on the same thing to reiterate over and over and over again. If you have an issue with an admin of what they did, send a message so that I can address it and make sure it doesn't happen moving forward. I cannot stress that enough. All right. Uh, uh, there was one of the things Matimo mentioned was that after Cartel completed the Nikolai mission, DEA was or Dark Horse 6 was sent in to fight them. They shouldn't have. They were supposed to go to Bunker Hill. Another admin told them to go in there and attack right away. Don't know who told them that. Sorry, it shouldn't have happened. Or whatever. I'm There you go. You got Buck right there owning that. Um,
that was during the. They were
we're
checking to see
chronoing
if
guns. Yeah, we're chronoing guns. So they're going to take the front of your barrel and put it in. Let me see that and go through. So yeah, so he might not have been all that careful with it, and that's on Buck. That Buck needs to change and do better. I was being polite with everybody's stuff, saying, "Here, put your gun up here." Buck might have been a little bit heated, probably because we just got lit the hell up. He shouldn't have done that though, and I'll have a conversation with him after this stream. Moving on. Another comment was mentioned about how the staff seemed to have a whole lot of raffle tickets. The staff took their pay from the event and then bought raffle tickets with them. Now, we know how that looks because of how much stuff went through. So, we are going to have staff is not going to be able to do that in the future. Ends the story. I didn't yank somebody's gun, man. I said, come up here. I'm sorry. I did not yank somebody's gun.
The staff thing, the raffle ticket thing, guys.
All right.
A lot of people don't allow
I'm-
staff to raffle.
Yep.
I will attest though that buying a lot of tickets wins gifts and loses friends. I think I gave VFA like I don't know, it was like $150 or whatever at the game up in Wisconsin, and I won like 7 items, including the flag, which is all I was really wanting to win. And guys kept going, "Whoa!" And I gave them it was either like $150 or $200. If I didn't win anything, I didn't win anything. It's a lucky draw. Now,
sort of like when Brader spends like $500 on a
right.
raffle.
Yeah. Now, with that in mind, I'm not a fan of staff participating just because of the optics of it, for sure. But at the same time, I mean, look at how many tickets he had. He definitely did buy a ton of tickets. So give it some grace and know that it's being fixed in the future.
Yeah. And also the thing was how 3D printer grenades use 22 blanks. They don't. 22 blanks are Quake grenades, or Bang 22s. The 3D printer grenades use snap grenades. Kevin, I'll take that I'll take that feedback and I'll take it back to the Chrono team when we have our AAR tomorrow.
I'm just reading what he wrote. If you had, Kevin, what I would recommend is in the future, if you have an HPA gun, and your pressurization is changing, carry your Allen key with you. Go back over to the chrono area, have them formally chrono, snip, readjust, and then put another tag on. It's for safety purposes, truly. The reason why you don't even give leeway at 0.05 is because that limit is set as high as it's allowed to go. So we try to when we build guns. I actually had a conversation with Josh Warren the other day. I had guys getting ready to go to MSW, and I verified with him what they're chronoing at, so that when I build a gun for a guy at MSW, I make sure it's under limits. So it's there for safety, not for any other reason. Thank you, Brad.
Brad always had a smile on his face. He was having a good time.
Mega, do you have any specifics why you felt it was trash? I think you're just joining, so we just went.
I at this point I am not going backwards. I'm going forwards because we have some other stuff to cover tonight. Um, and I want to go through and start doing through. So, um, some of the stuff that we changed for the better for this AO. We're going to adjust and move forward. There's no refunds for the event. That's exactly what it means. You don't go to a concert, don't like the concert, and get a refund. It's not happening. There's no refunds for the event. The event went on. We had the event. You didn't like the event. Sorry you didn't like the event. Hopefully we could have won you back by giving you discounts on future events. If you're not coming back, we understand. At this point in time, I spent a lot of money to make sure that this event goes, plus the future events we're going to have there. That's what it is. Yeah, I saw every responses that came in, and I didn't respond to it because I didn't get home until Wednesday at 1 a.m. And since Wednesday at 1 a.m., I've been working on all this. There's one last thing I want to go over, which this is probably one of the shadiest shit I've ever seen in airsoft, and this is the only person I'm going to call out by name. There is no espionage factor in the games that we have.
I heard about that.
Yep.
There is no espionage, period, full stop. In fact, it's in the rules. Don't go on the other team's comms, which includes Discord, because people put a lot of time, effort, and everything else into it. Evidently, in New York, it's a common practice for people to do that shit, not at our events. So, Joshua Lawrence, you going in, thinking you're slick, stealing cartels' battle plans, you're lucky you never brought it to Papa or Wiener, because your ass would have been kicked off the field immediately. That was probably one of the most dickhole move I've ever heard about at an event, and you did so much damage to that by doing that. So, yeah, no, that's fucking wrong. I don't care. You don't steal somebody else's thing, because what happens is you just put a sour taste in a whole shit ton of people's mouth that put all this work in that they have to go down through and do it. So come Saturday morning, when you're going around, you have other people bragging about how they suckered some guy to let him go in there, and me not being notified of it. That's already been addressed with those people, those admins that were aware that shit can never happen again, because we should not have, that person should have been criticized in front of the entire group of people there, because you just don't do that. You don't do that at my events, period. You just don't.
If I can say something on that.
All right, Johnny. I mean, you're just getting
the
Saturday night was awesome.
With
actually, all of it was awesome. I had a good time.
To be honest, yeah, Johnny. Honestly, if you had stayed through Saturday night and then to Sunday, there were things that got fixed, and especially
by top.
Sorry,
man, miss you, man.
There were definitely things that got fixed. The night Evo was a lot of fun. It was all into one building. It was a lot of fun. It really was. And I actually got to watch some guys learn how to push and do things. So it was a good time. And I do understand some of the problems that you faced, and I'm sorry that you left upset. I wish you had stayed. In regards to the guy that stole the plans and all that, for me personally, I was an athlete when I was younger. I was in midget sports. You learn what to do, how to challenge yourself. Challenging yourself in anything, whether it's a card game or a football game. Cheating removes all the rules, and you're no longer challenged. You're not playing the game anymore, so it does no good. Trying to do something like that's not a part of the game. If that was an element of the game, sure, that would have been great, but it's not. It never is. I've never been part of an event where stealing battle plans, because there's no real way to hide them like that if you're willing to do that.
Everyone left.
So,
all right. Hold on. I'm going to shut this down. Andrew, say something like that again, and you're just going to be blocked, bro. We're not having that. That's simple. That's inappropriate. That's no. No. So, yes, Kevin, I want to address it. Nick was notified, and I've already had a conversation with Whiskey yesterday and today about it. That's simple. We had a conversation. Nobody should be saving the admins from stress.
Come on, Andrew.
So, no. All right. Moving forward, we've made changes to the map in AO. I know a lot of people did have fun at the event because they came up and said so. They enjoyed it. We got messages came in after. They knew that there was challenges. It was a new AO. We identified, okay, since some of you guys didn't, we gave a discount for a future event to give you the opportunity to come back out and experience an event that we have everything rolling smooth. That's how we operate. If we ever have issues or anything else, we try to make it up to you guys and future stuff to go through. I will say that some of the staff were disrespected and all that. Yes, Jamal, it was. We've already addressed it, and it's already been adjusted for future games. In short, stick your only people have to break the plane or anybody with an MED. First floor only. So that's there. And to the guys that were actually taking pictures, is this breaking the plane where they're all the way outside the windows with it? Funny, cute. Glad you guys had fun with that. So, yeah. What's up, Squints? How's your head doing? All right. With all that being said, we are going through to make the adjustments and changes to go back to what it was of what we had. This was our 11th event. This one was at a new AO. This AO had challenges that were set upon us. So those that were asking what the town thought, we haven't heard any complaints. So no complaints is good because obviously they would have complained to us now if there was an issue. It's going to be a good time moving forward. I'll just start. I'm going to tell you all right now, we're not going to have a pissing match going on inside the comments. It's not there. So if there's anything else that hasn't already been addressed that you guys want to feel that you have to go through, we had on the field 482 things, waivers signed, people out there running around. Some didn't have a good time. Some had a great time. Some had a hit or miss time. On a whole, the only thing that we could all say, that I'm sure Papa would agree, Wiener would agree, we'll strive to do better, and we will do better for the next event. We'll always to elevate. We've taken all the stuff that's there. Yes, I take ownership of how things went. We've been taking ownership, and that's why we're making the adjustments. Look, I think I'm I've done a lot of events and been through a lot of different event hosts. I've never seen one actually go through and address and take on ownership like this that others haven't. So, I mean, we're making the adjustments. We listen to the players quite a bit when it comes down to stuff. I mean, make those things. That's why we allowed bursts, even though we figured we might have taken out. Another issue that came up that needs to be brought up and talked about was that when looking at the numbers, 128 players were players that have been to our events before, which means another 400 and change have never been to one of our events before. So there was a difference there.
Perhaps he was mistaken, Johnny. He might have had the wrong guy. That was discussed.
Yeah, and
him and Buck going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes, you can launch me from a catapult if you get an appropriate catapult.
There's no catapults allowed on site. Sorry.
My apologies. You cannot launch me.
There's no artillery, whether it's medieval or otherwise, allowed on site. Sorry.
But I make less noise than a tagging.
Yes, you do.
So,
except when you snore at night.
Listen.
Look who's talking.
Yeah.
Look who's talking.
I can say that because I know I snore. I can say that. Oh my gosh.
I'm not getting into this. Anyways.
Hey Brad, I love you, man. Chat, hit me up on chat later.
All right. So moving on, we do have 3
Yes,
more
Joe.
events at that AO to improve upon. There will be there will be so people asked about making sure more brush is undone. We are going to clear out more of the brush, especially along the sides of the buildings where the fencing was like around Bravo and Alpha. So you guys can move more freely through that. And we're going to cut more paths through the stuff. Whatever, dude.
Yup. That was good. Just go with shit. That did not go to shit completely. It did not go to shit, period.
So, anyways,
I kind of like the brush on the side of the buildings.
Yes, I did too.
Was actually kind of cool.
Yep.
If
it
guys
just needs to be cut back some.
well, like some, I mean, there was some area like cut paths would be great.
Yeah,
But like I said, there's guys that I shot. I was shooting through the brush. They were creeping along the edge of the building. If they were willing to push their way through that brush to try to get through, that was awesome. Great for them.
I will tell you right now. It's like when I saw this, when we were talking about what to tackle brush wise, right? When we went out there. All right, later, Crackles.
Later, Crackles.
We were going through and looking. I said, we're going to cut pathways, and they go, "What about more movement?" I was like, knowing airsofters, they're gonna blaze their own paths forward as well. So we'll have new paths going through. And when you went through after, like seeing before and after, when you see these things before and after, you see a mad difference. You can see the new paths that were made. Some people started following like animal trails and stuff and just made them wider. So we are going to take. We do have a couple chainsaws coming with us to cut down more stuff. And yeah, we are definitely going to. I'm actively looking at how to get rid of all the ivy patch. So yeah.
A whole new faction is being formed as you're talking, by the way. I have become indirect fire. Just so you know, that is what's happening right now.
Messages are coming in. All right.
Turn the wiener on. My D-hop was working great at the event. Thank you. Reaching out and touching people.
So, anyways, moving along. So, for the stuff that we're going to be doing moving forward, we're going to make sure that the site's a little bit better picked up. We have our new spawn locations, which is Alpha and Alpha 2 and Delta 2. We found were the best places for movement and everything else. We're going to open up the entire side where camping was, including the hardtop. The other thing that came up was about the skirmish. The batteries for the skirmish boxes were left on the bus overnight, and it killed the battery. That's why skirmish had problems on Sunday. That's all going to be worked out for the future to make sure that one of the things on the checklist before you walk off the AO is where are the batteries for skirmish at.
I have a thought for skirmish system, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
On each one of the boxes, this is just a thought from what we went through looking at it. Put Velcro on every single one of the boxes, and then have Velcro attachments that say imprisonment, spawn, box A, B, C, D, whatever it is. That way they can all become whatever they need to become, and you can adjust them as they go. But Wiener and I had 2 boxes. Actually, in the beginning we had 1 box, right?
Yep.
Guys were coming in. We imprisoned
put them in prison. Put them all in prison.
That was definitely an explanation error. That
so hang on. So do that and take a little bit of time, type up for the CEOs or anybody who wants it. Here is how it works, and here's what you do to make it work for each one of these. Because again, there was some confusion about do this but don't do that, or here's what it should look like. This many dots, because there was blue, or what looked like a blue or white, green, red, all these different dots, different sounds. And you're like, is he checked in? Sure, he's checked in. 80 guys later, nope, they're all in prison. Is he checked in? No, he's respawned. Is he checked in? No, he
did fix that.
You're like, what happened? So
what happened was you have to scan everybody in before you hit game on. There is no way to have people come in after that. So all those people that came in late.
You know that.
I know that's definitely something that I had to do. We've already addressed it, Johnny Ramirez. Go back and listen to the beginning of this.
Oh yeah. That's been taken care of. Yep.
To use Dragon Force. I don't know what Dragon Force is. Um, all right. So we will. All those things are going to be fixed and go through. I had 60 batteries.
Was there a
Like,
gun stolen?
Can I answer?
yeah,
one?
my gun was stolen.
Oh, oh, that's right.
My
Matt,
pistol was stolen.
it- it-
So
go
I
ahead.
lost 7 radios. So 7 of my radios are gone. Somebody swapped out 2 of their radios for my radios for their radios. So that was great. Um, and the mags were stolen. So I've never had so much theft happen on a site before, and it was really disappointing.
Matt, it comes with a bucking and nub.
It was a pistol. That was
It
stolen.
will.
It was my drill gun pistol. It says Joker on the side of it. Very
And the
distinct
instructions
scratches.
state that you'll use the nub that comes with it as well as the bucking because it's
Yes.
a custom flattened bucking nub.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah. So I had 60 batteries for skirmish, and they were left on the bus, and it got cold, and it sapped the batteries.
No. A GoPro too.
Nope, not on the EPMs. GoPro also. I didn't know a GoPro.
I didn't hear about a GoPro.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some stuff that might be missing out on the field that might not be stolen, like the one guy's grenade. Somebody stole my grenade. I was like, probably, bro. It's a Quake grenade. It's probably underneath something when you threw it. It was supposed to be for Op4 only. I haven't seen it. But like I said, it will be fixed up later on. All right. There will be a typed up version of the stuff that we went over for the AAR about the stuff that went through. And I just know that next time I go to get shirts made, I got to make sure I make some like more 2Xs because all my 2Xs disappeared. I don't even have my own shirt, man. Good ever.
Wow.
Wow. All right. With that, that's the end of our AAR for right here. If we missed anything, we'll definitely address it in future things as we talk about it and as we move forward. Understandably, that we have stuff that we're working on to improve, to make better, and to make sure it's better for everybody else. So the site will improve as we go on, and I think y'all are gonna have fun. I mean, Geigerlands is the next event that we're having there on June 7th, which is different because it's a free-for-all game. It's more of a LARP game than a shooting game, so that one has its own things. But by the time Yellow Dog Outbreak rolls around, a lot of these modifications will be put in place to make sure that event goes off very smoothly. All right, moving on. I want to talk about something that, Papa, you were all fired up about yesterday. I'm calling. You know what? The name of it is now not Battle at Six Flags; it's Battle over Six Flags.
Oh, I'm a little tired. I'm still fired up about it, and I'm gonna be because
Brad, Scorched Earth is November 1st through 3rd.
so here's the thing, and a lot of people have a little bit of a misconception about why I feel what I feel about it. There's levels to the whole thing. Anybody that knows me and has known me for any period of time, integrity and ethics, moral fiber, character, all of that that's where I live. That I try very, very hard. I raised my son that way as best I can. Run my field that way, my business that way. Everything I try to do, I do like that. That's why I absolutely welcome any criticism. I said earlier in the stream, please let me know if you found me doing something wrong. I need to fix that because I like to live there. I prefer to live there. When there's poor, every gator's bigger than me, Brad. When ethics are broken or non-existent, I have an issue with that. When it happens in my realm, when it happens in my community, when it happens with my family, I really do. I take issue with that. What's going on now between Mere Tactical? With Mere Tactical. What I am calling the swooping in and trying to get in there beforehand. I am actually going to be having a call with Alex tomorrow to talk to him about it because I don't agree with it at all. And it has nothing to do with if it's VFA and a veteran organization, all that. That's icing on the cake. If it was Dead and Outfitters and New Breed, and we announced an event at a brand new AO, all this kind of stuff, and then New Breed pops in 2 days later and says, "Hey, yeah, we're coming there too. Only we're going to be there sooner." Wait a minute now. That's you didn't have that schedule. Blah blah blah, and that's my problem with it because it's unethical. It's not unethical to have the same game at the same place. Absolutely not. You schedule them all out. Absolutely not. 15 people can schedule, not 15, 12 people, one per month, can schedule at a place. That's perfectly fine. But when you do it to try to swoop in and better somebody, when you do it to try to cut in line, to jump, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because number one, VFA got this. Nobody had done it before. We all tried. I know you tried. I tried.
You tried. He tried. We all tried to get it.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, I tried for 6 months. I tried to give it a shot. Were the highlights of the game DA left? Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Everybody's working on it, bud. Everybody's going to work on it. And your comments, although some aggressive, some constructive, we're going to take them all as constructive. When you come in like that, absolutely not. 100% no. I do not appreciate it, and I find it very disrespectful for someone to come in and do what Mir did. So yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation about it. Now, on top of that, you're coming in and it's a not-for-profit organization. Let's go one further. It's for a veterans not-for-profit organization. At least 30% of airsoft is veteran-based or active duty.
Hold on.
Yeah,
can we interrupt one thing real quick and go to Matty Mo? What are you talking about? Are you talking about Wiener?
That's his name.
That's his actual name. It's Robert
That's my actual
Wiener.
last name. Of course, you probably didn't stick around to see that when I made that announcement at down the bus at the end there at the raffle.
Matty Mo, that's his name, if that's what you're talking about, because we haven't made any jokes, and we already addressed that at the beginning of the stream, so you have an understanding. But if that's what you guys are upset about, what is it? It's Ellis Island. Was that where your family got that, right?
Yes. It used to be. He's the big Frankfurter. Yeah, that's correct. It's a joke. No, Dick, don't make it so hard.
But
yes.
Did we just get?
It was Von. Yep.
It's a joke, no.
K. DeVere, he's cool. He's cool.
That's kind of funny. Actually, wait, that's actually really kind of funny. Sorry, I know we're talking about inappropriateness, and that's actually really funny. I'm sorry. It's hard joke Papa made. I didn't make it. It's hard. I actually said.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You commented about something I said.
I said like, no pun intended.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah.
I said no pun intended.
They're on YouTube.
So
still laughing. Goodbye. See ya. Come back when you can't stay as long.
Okay.
So I guess we're not allowed to laugh or anything.
No, here's the thing.
To this, I mean,
actually, Matty, come on back because listen, thinking up your skin, baby. All right.
Yeah.
I'm 51. I'm 51 years old, full grown, 5'1", half Italian, half Jew. I say whatever the fuck I want. Bottom line, right? You're offended by it. Turn your fucking computer off.
Let's rein it in a little bit. Let's rein that in a little bit because.
Sorry.
Look,
no, it's offense to that shit, though, man.
Yeah, I do. Too.
I know like I said at the beginning of the stream when we talked about it and we addressed it. But that's it. We're moving on, and we're going to be talking about. The only reason why I interrupted you because I thought it was that because he was talking about Wiener's name. But you know what? When you have somebody with the name Wiener in there, that's on your team or there, and it's his last name, the jokes are going to fly. So if you don't like the jokes, I'm sorry, but whatever.
I've heard almost as much as Papa's short jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how often do I
It's not
shut those down
disrespectful.
too?
You have to have a thick skin, and you have to have a sense of humor in this world today.
So it's
So, anyways, let's
anyway,
talk.
yeah, so
Let's go back to
so
it.
about that, yeah. And the fact that at least 30% of airsoft is veterans or active duty, and so that, like I said, that's the icing on the cake. Though
That's
you
right,
reached
Keith.
the ethics, and then you went on from there. I'm sorry, Nika. um, and it made it worse and worse. And saying that you're trying to do this for the community, if you're just a businessman, that's fine. And if you're coming in to just be a businessman, and you don't care about the ethics, and it's straight capitalism with no concern for business ethics, then fine. But don't pretend you're something else.
Yeah,
Don't pretend you're something else.
what he did by stealing that AO was, or jumping in that AO is the same thing he did with the Force Center. Call it for what it is, man. Don't sit there and try to seem like you're being altruistic or anything else. You want to be first. Congrats, you're first. You're a piece of shit for it, and it's a reason why I want to attend your events.
Yeah.
It's because your ethics, right? That's the end of it. It's the ethics. You
I
know.
apologize, by the way.
Apologize. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, guys.
For what?
He lost his cool.
It struck me. That's all.
It happens.
Nah, that little piece. That's one of those. That's one of those things that bugs me. Because of and it was because of the way it was phrased. We're on here. To be honest with you, it's a public forum that you choose to come on. People can say whatever they wish to say. It's different when things are being said in the safety brief. You get that, but but here this program you choose to watch, just like if you choose to watch something on TV and you don't like it, then turn the channel. But I shouldn't have responded that way, and I apologize, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, so breaching those ethics, doing things like that, it's not not right. I won't be supporting him, but I'm going to hear him out. He reached out to me and said, he'd like to talk. He felt like he wouldn't be able to change my mind, but he wanted to talk to me anyway. So I said, fine, we'll talk. I did find some things that seemed a little odd. He stated he'd been trying to get the place for 5 years. I believe that. I believe he has.
Wow.
If he's been trying to get the place for 5 years, I get it. We've all been trying to get it for a long time, and it recently got sold about 6 months ago. From my understanding, that's how VFA got it. So VFA got it, and as soon as that was launched, it seemed as though Mir went ahead and went and grabbed it also. The things that seem strange to me is, number one, it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to organize a game at a brand new event. I mean, we're talking about this right now, right? It was very, very difficult to organize. Thank you, Steve. To organize an event within 30 days especially at an AO like that. So that's probably not possible. And if you look on the Mir Tactical website and you look at the calendar of events, on the calendar and on the main event page, there is nothing about New Orleans. But when you click on the calendar and you go where it's dynamic, well, then there is. You look on their Facebook page, their backdrop. That's the calendar of events. There is nothing about New Orleans. The only game is at the end of June. The end of May and end of June, there is no New Orleans game. So that happened fast enough and soon enough that none of that's been updated. So don't say it's been scheduled. Don't say it's been scheduled.
And let's talk about some other things too, because you have to do site visits, right? You have to get an idea of where you're putting stuff. You got to get an idea where the hazards are. You have to go through and prep the site. You mean the Kickstarters from a company that got killed because of COVID? Yeah. Bye, Johnny.
These are probably.
Johnny's no longer part of the being able to see us on YouTube.
Well, I was just take it offline with him. He's got questions.
Yep.
With him.
No, there's no questions to take because it's already been, the announcements were already posted of why the Kickstarters failed. The Kickstarters were there. My entire factory died to COVID, which was 8 people over in China. When this stuff happened, I lost 30 grand in with that. No way to recover it during COVID. My company shut down. There's nothing else to really say. End of story.
What do
That's
you,
what happens.
what do you mean? What do you keep adding all these requirements? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I don't.
He's having fun because
Oh,
it's at the
I
others.
don't.
So
I don't know it. Oh,
Andrew, be insulted again to the people that are there. As Johnny Ramirez again. It's
by the way, John, I'll tell you, I'm not gonna. It's not me defending him. The questions aren't part of the topic, but definitely have been answered, can be answered, and if you really have true questions about it, should be answered for sure. You have concerns, absolutely, they should be addressed. All of this was answered 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I think you might even had a conversation last year because it always comes up. Every single one of these, every single one of them, people walked away from Mark, Joker, and Players Wanted because of these things and found out later the facts about it. So by all means, just not right now. And that's the thing. I'm not trying to push anybody off, but we're trying to have. There's a completely different topic right now that can definitely be addressed though. If you have those questions, absolutely they should be addressed. Unfortunately, this is not the forum. It's you don't talk about Mars when the topic is baseball. I don't know if that worked.
it didn't work, but
Whatever. I'm tired, man. I really am tired.
um, the reality of the stuff that's there's plenty. There's already statements out there about it. It's been a dead issue for a long time, and sorry. But I want to talk about like the stuff that's here. So when it comes down to what Mir did, it's not like this is uncommon for him.
Mm-hmm.
He does this a lot. It's one of the reasons why I won't support his business. You go through and you AO poach and you do shady stuff like this. It just, when it comes down to it, I probably would not be nearly as annoyed or pissed off if it wasn't like Veterans for Airsoft, right? It's a not-for-profit group that came in having September. The other concerns that I have for the site are the wildlife. I'm going to the one in September. If when tickets go up, hopefully I'll be one of the ones that can secure a ticket by paying for it. Bye, Wiener.
Wow, what are you
I don't know. His camera's missing again. But the storms in that region are getting more and more intense. I mean, there was just some massive tornadoes that ran through that Midwest area and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in June and September. I mean, my only real concern with this was the wildlife and hurricanes. But I want to go back to it. If there's two groups of people there's two companies going in there right now, right? You have Mir and you have Veterans for Airsoft. I haven't seen the pricing or anything else like that, but if Mir undercuts VFA's pricing, that's also another dick move to try to get more people inside the place. I don't know. I think this was another miss, but he's going to continue to do what he does. He's continuing to host games. He's continued to put stuff out there, and that's Mir for you. But I think ethically it was extremely poor taste. I think it was done to it. I don't know who Andrew's talking about. But he did that. So let's talk about what he did at Force Center, right? Because that gives you guys an idea of the stuff there. He went into Force Center, and his contract pretty much gave him exclusive rights to like one of the easily find usable AOs in South Florida.
So, so he paid extra for that. So initially, initially, he came in and paid for strict exclusivity for the year, and that kept. Now we had already run 2 games there, and he came in and paid for strict exclusivity for the year. His first contract, which I've heard before, his first contract he paid for. I think it was 3-month buffer on either side. I think it was 3-month buffer on either side. So you could not have a game 3 months prior, 3 months after.
That's what I was going to say.
And,
you can't have.
Yeah.
You took out the only time that AO is worth it because of Florida.
Well, yeah, but to be honest with you, that one I don't feel so bad about. That's a business move, and I kind of get it. And you don't really want. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to have an event that close to anyone anyway. But but hey, he's breaching his own requirements though by doing what he's doing with Freddie with VFA. But anyway, after I had my last game, he came in and bought the year exclusivity, and then came back in and bought the 10-year contract.
Yeah, and there's a reason why I haven't gone to those games. People are like, "Oh, you should give him a chance." Nah. I mean, he effectively took he also, the name of the game, he took a play on to try to get more tickets sold from Doomsday, which, Overwatch, Northern Watch, we're going to come in with Southern Watch. And it's like, bro, you took the AO, preventing Doomsday from having another game there. Then you essentially stole the naming of it. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just bullshit, hands down, no matter which way you cut it. And I told him as much on the phone. There's Wiener. Wiener's.
Sorry, I was on the phone.
Okay. It's. I don't know. I don't think that, look, you just can't go there and start prepping a site with. Essentially, he would have to have somebody there every single week of May to get that shit ready. And he doesn't have the bandwidth or time to do that. He's running his own company. He doesn't come down to do that stuff. Who's he going to trust to do it? We just had an event where we're showing, even with all the planning that you do, there's challenges and everything else. It's probably going to be like one of his other games where it just all goes to shit. And it's like, okay, well, fuck you all, move on to the next one.
Yeah. There's a lot of slick shit going on there, and I'm not a fan of it.
Because he doesn't change anything. He continues to operate in the same fashion.
Well, and we were kind of talking about some of the things before. The problem, and I don't want to say problem. It's the problem is, people are still going to go to the game because a lot of people are going to say, hey, I want to play at that AO. But you're allowing that behavior to happen then at that point.
And a lot of players, and let's be honest too, a lot of players don't know about that, right? A lot of players don't know what's going on. The only thing they know is, oh shit, we could play at Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that would help me to so I'm going to say it this way. I don't think Freddie's going to have an issue selling 400 tickets to the event. It's going to sell out.
Yeah.
When he sells out, it's going to benefit Mir because they're not going to be able to go to that event for his, and then they're going to go. They're not going to be able to go to VFA, so they're going to say, "Hey, got to buy a ticket." What I would have done after Mir announced it, it says, like I've been saying, please stay tuned. Tickets are going to drop on June 10th, and that way. You don't have the players that are like, oh, I got to go to this event because I'm going to miss out. That's how, if I was Freddie, that's how I would do it because fuck you for for coming in and AO poaching.
Yeah,
exactly, Drust. Let's go.
He's still going to get people. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's still going to happen. And listen, I'm not a big fan of taking money out of somebody's mouth. I'm not trying to take food out of somebody's mouth, but at the same time, I'm not going to support that kind of behavior. It's not.
Yeah.
And for anybody questioning that statement versus anything in the past hour and a half, you've all heard me say, we're fixing it. It's being fixed. There was no intent, and it'll be better next time. So before any of that comes up, let me stop that.
Look, there's a difference between intent,
and
shit is going wrong, right? There's a difference between the two. Mir intentionally came in and undercut it. Oh, I want to be there. It's the only time I can go. No, because the demolition starts in October. Why don't you go the weekend after?
I thought the same thing.
So yeah, I'm just the thing that it boils down to is like when it comes down to AOs, right? I don't care if he would have found the AO first and got if Mir would have got exclusivity first. That's one thing. Okay, cool. That good on you, bro. You caught a cool AO. You have exclusive rights to it, right? Whatever. I'm um, I personally, if you got exclusive rights because you found it, that's one thing. I'm not going to hold that against anybody, right? Like if you get Mall of the Americas to allow you to have a game there, and you secure exclusive rights to Mall of the America, wow, congratulations, you did something awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If I got Mall of America and then you came in before me and said, haha, because you got it, I'm going to do it. Nah, that's not cool. Just like nobody went after the Durham Mall that were all the event producers down here that went after the Durham Mall didn't go for it, even though the Durham Mall probably were like, yeah, we like to have our monthly taxes paid up,
Sure.
for property taxes paid up by having a few events, our yearly taxes. Sure, let's have a few more events here. Nobody's done that because of the respect that hey, that is a Lion Claw location, and we're not going to step over it, right? Excuse me.
Ignore it.
Nope.
Whoa.
That is a line that you just stepped over. Bye bye, Andrew. Nope. Absolutely not. We don't care
Good.
about veterans.
Good,
Fuck
good,
you.
good.
Bye.
Oops.
Bye. Veteran.
Some of these, yeah.
There's a disabled veteran sitting right here.
Yeah, I already lost my cool once. I'm not gonna do it again.
Nope, that's Jesus gone.
Some of these.
I'm not gonna. I'm just.
He said, "You don't care about veterans. Don't pretend."
Yeah.
That guy's gone.
Yeah.
Brian joined YouTube. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah. Every one of those was on YouTube.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
I
just over here at the auction. That's all, and laughing at laughing at Brad's comment about Wiener.
Oh, which one? He's got so many of them. Oh yeah.
For no reason.
Have a breather for no reason. Hey, I might have a reason. I could be watching. Oh no, I shouldn't say that on here, but that's okay.
Yeah, let's not make the normal
Don't get
jokes
me
that we
started.
do.
Don't let's.
Oh jeez.
There's certain levels where you finally just hit the button and like go on. And then when you say that, I guess he took 8 of his buddies or 9 of his buddies with me because the numbers went down. If you think that it's okay to sit there and say that we don't care about veterans, you could piss right the fuck off. Especially since there's one sitting right beside me. I'm like, God damn, man.
He was here to complain, and it was unfortunate that he wasn't wanting to discuss.
It's that whole group.
They have valid concerns that are being addressed.
Valid concerns, but they kept going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was getting a headache just watching the comments. And you're addressing them. It was a new AO. Yes, we had problems. Yes, they will be fixed. If you don't want to come to the event or you want to keep on whining about it, don't bother. Don't come. You don't have to.
We took all the feedback. We took everybody's feedback.
Yep.
We took all the hits on the chin.
Yep.
Like people say, hey, you're laughing. Yeah, we have to make jokes. These are serious topics that we're talking about here, right? Mm-hmm. Laughter is a way to release stress and anxiety. Nobody likes to have the kind of conversations that we're having right now. Nobody likes to be having a brainy or locking horns or anything else. Nobody likes to have a bad event. And the only thing that we can do is to move forward and go on. You want to bring up stuff about stuff that happened back in 2018 with my board game company? Cool. had a game that was essentially an adult toy. It was called Facial the Game. And a woman took a comment that another guy said, imagine having to play test that. And I said, not it. That turned into, would you like to play test my penis? Which I never said to anybody. And went through. That person that did it turned out to be a liar and a plagiarist and was like literally plagiarizing game reviews from like 2007, copy pasting them so she could have more clout as a reviewer. How were they a problem? Who are you talking about? The ones that have been banned? Because the personal attacks don't belong. That's why.
Yeah,
Saying
no
that we
problem
don't
with voicing your opinion about what you didn't like about the event, what we can do to correct it, but then turn around and the personal attacks. Goodbye.
There's actually a story of how that game came to be made, and it is kind of
believe-
funny, but it's not appropriate here for some people. And so, but going back to what we were just talking about with the battle, I'm saying battle over Six Flags. I'm going to support Freddie, Veterans for Airsoft.
Sorry, just on Brian's comment. I apologize. It is not a melee weapon. I'm not allowed to use it as a melee weapon. But thank you very much. Can I interject real quick? Do you mind?
Sure.
I needed that little laugh right there. So Brian, thank you very much. I have a particular emotional condition that if I spike, it goes a particular way. And I wasn't happy that happened. I appreciate the laugh because it actually tries to bring me back into a central place. I felt a lot of love this past weekend at the event. Post-event, I felt even more. I had a lot of people say a lot of nice things, and I really did appreciate it. Last night on the stream, things got heated, but it was still, we kept it very, we kept it educational, if nothing else. We explained what was being said. I love a debate. I can debate for hours and hours and hours. It's fantastic. I'm a master debater, so it doesn't really master debate.
I heard what you said.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
I can still
Get your mind out of the gutter. You can look at my palms and see that I am. I absolutely love it, and because in the end, you're only educated. You absorb somebody else's opinion and you've given your own, and you come to somewhere in the middle where you end up reaching fact. That is incredibly important, and I appreciate that. I get to play with people. We get to move forward. We get to grow, and I make a ton of friends. And this was a wonderful experience for me. I hate seeing people actively try to make it worse instead of actively try to make it better. And that's the important thing. If you were offended by something, let's talk about it. Maybe this isn't the stream for you. If you didn't like an event, tell us why, and maybe we can make it better. Or maybe that's not the event for you. It doesn't have to be so negative. It doesn't have to be so spiteful. It doesn't have to carry on that way. It's over. The future's that way. Past is over there. So.
I already know that joke, and I wasn't repeating it on the screen.
I don't fish.
It's sort of like when I was telling Papa, like I knew he's having a bad night. I said, I bet you I can make you laugh. He goes, no, you can't. I doubt it. Or whatever you said. You said something along those lines. And I said, remember I told you I couldn't get a speeding ticket? You said, he goes, yeah. I was like, because of the stupid key lock thing? I was like, well, I definitely got a no turn on red, running a red light ticket and a no turn signal ticket. And he started giggling, you know.
They're just going back and forth with Buck. They're having conversations with Buck. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go back over to. I think there's going to be challenges at Six Flags, right? I think there's going to be a wildlife issue. Hopefully it's all resolved.
Did they unleash the lottery over there and let them go in and hunt all the gators out of there? I think I saw something about that.
So but I saw the map of the place. They might have allowed them to go through and do all that, but I think the water lines, the canals are connected or whatever. It's only a matter of time, and you can't get everything on one round, you know. Hopefully, but it's not just gators that you have to worry about.
Well, snakes and
exactly.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
The person I talked to at the parish goes, she goes in a thick Cajun accent that I cannot adequately mimic. She goes, sugar. Them snakes out there, they don't mess around.
Mm-mm.
She goes, them moccasins?
With gators being gone, there will be more snakes.
There will be more snakes.
Just listen,
Copperheads.
Don't go.
Water moccasins.
Yeah, I'm not telling
Rattlesnakes. Coral snakes.
It's easy to get rid of the big gators. Way harder to get rid of the.
I'm going to bring Augie's going to come to Florida. I'm going to take him to Gatorland. I'm going to take Augie to Gatorland.
I know we keep going back and forth, but because we got distracted during the AAR. I did want to ask.
Yeah.
So I started doing something new at this event. I kind of started it at
Thunderdome? Snowbreaker, yeah.
And then I really blew it out when here because I started running up to guys, and when I would get positions, I would what are we looking at? What do we see? And guys would give me positions. I would then ask them, then why are they still there if you know where they are? And people would start to look, go, exactly. What do we need to get them? Well, we can't get them. You can't, or is it difficult? And if there's anybody in the chat that heard me say that, please say something about it, because to me, I've tried so many different ways to help guys push. You've seen stupid videos of me pushing like an idiot, but that's how the gameplay gets better. It's a lot more fun by getting you to push. So I tried to find different ways. I know at the night game, I got guys.
Yeah, that's one thing we did not talk about was the night game.
I got guys nice and encouraged because a lot of guys were holding back. I pushed up. Yes, I got killed. I got killed by Augie, who in the middle of the game went, "Popping at you," and it was me. Yes, it was absolutely me. You freaking banana.
Kate DeVere, I was doing the pushing. Thank you very much.
And when
as the admin watching all this, right? You had Papa pushing, you had Wiener pushing, you had 5 other guys, and you had all of Kilo like trying to rush up, and it was just run up and die. And at one point, I was like, if somebody said they're not calling it, I was like, fine, I'll go up there. I was like, admin coming up. As I come up, here comes a tag and it lands right at my ass and explodes. And I was like, oh, that sucked.
Beaver.
Hey, Buck, stop.
I got hit. Oh, I know I got hit. Yep. I know I got hit. I know you guys shot me. I died and went back down. And
he did.
Responded.
It's like it was a constant meat grinder, and and we turned people.
Laid on a fence line, waiting for Papa to come around the corner, and never do it.
Yeah, he was laying there forever. I think he has a couple ticks on his.
Waiting for to shoot me.
Yes.
Yeah. There was that storming the building. There's always concern whenever you go to hit one building and you put like a team in there to be embedded, and it's like, okay, fight through these guys, because we didn't want it to have what was happening at Crescent, which was the Battle of 2 Stairwells, right? That was like one of the big things that that you just didn't want to have that. And I was like, man, how bad is this going to be? How bad is this going to be? But then the guys were like, no, we want this. I was like, okay. I just stepped back and was like, okay. And they did. They kept pushing. Only one guy said, this is fucking stupid. And I was like, did you try the other stairs? He goes, the other stairs? It's like, yeah, go out and around and come up. And he goes, oh. So then I sent an entire group up there, and they finally got up to the second floor and started pushing down. But then they stopped and turned around and went the other way.
Same to you, Buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just at this point in time now, it's not worth it to argue.
Y'all joking about ticks? Actually, Kerry had to pull one off me when I got up north. I did get one I believe I got it at Stonebreaker.
You had to have, because you came to me after.
Yeah, so. No, but I mean, like, I don't think I got it when I got to PA or New York. I think
you had it before there.
I got it there, and I was like, and I reached back, I was like this. I go, hey, is that a tick? It was like right on the top of my ass. I was like, is that a tick?
What were you doing? Never mind, I don't want to know.
Oh no, I was sitting on the, and I had an itch, and I went and I felt that. And she goes, no, I think it's a scab. I said, well, I did get shot back there, so very well could be. But could you take a look? She goes,
at my age, I'm fermented. They
don't yeah, look at that. That is a tick. So she like pops it off. I go, let's take a look. And when I pinched it with the fingernails, because you got to get through the shell. Like, that was a tick.
Now, if you all of a sudden start having an allergic reaction to meat, I'm so sorry about your Lyme disease.
That will never happen. My body absolutely.
His body will reject the tick first before it rejects the meat.
I'm from Connecticut, anywhere where Lyme disease originated, so we're good.
But that Saturday night game, and I wanted to apologize to Killjoy like publicly, right? Killjoy put a lot of work into this event. If it wasn't said enough, I'll say it again. He put a lot of work into it and everything else to make sure that his team and everything was set up right. I went up to Killjoy and I said, "You all running the night mission?" Now he thought that I meant, is he running the night game, like running it?
Oh,
Now I was just asking for bodies. I was just asking for bodies. What's up, Laz? And
Wow. Hey, Laz.
What's up, bro?
And
You missed it all. Come on.
Little
Stay up
different,
late.
little different.
and so I just wanted I had a long conversation with Killjoy after the fact, and a lot of stuff came out. Moving forward, though, one thing I'm going to ask for everybody: if you guys are having an issue out on the field, having an issue with any of my staff, I need to know. There's no amount of stress I'm going to have more than finding out about shit after that I could have addressed and fixed.
Right.
Like, I didn't know about rule changes. I didn't know about a lot of stuff. So me being ignorant to it is not an excuse. It's also not good that I was kept ignorant to it. And the only way that this works is if communication's solid. So if you all happen to look through your gear and you find radios that say Joker on the back of them, like on the radio, perhaps I have one of your radios by mistake. I'd appreciate my radios back.
My
Because
Killjoy as well.
oh, it was great. So let's talk about some of the fun parts of that about this, right? The JDAMs. It's like I went up to both CEOs like, why did you guys using your JDAMs? Huh? I was like, yeah, you guys were supposed to have 3 JDAMs each Evo. Wiener was told about a JDAM an airstrike in Evo 2. He never told Greg, so it never happened.
No, Greg didn't hear me on the radio. Greg was having radio problems himself. That had nothing to do with. I told him, but he didn't. Yeah, he was having radio issues. We all have. My antenna broke, so
every team had each side had the same amount. It was 3, right? So I roll up to Papa, and I was like, all right, because they had secured. They had a flawless victory for Nikolai Cartel. I got shot twice. I got killed twice by cartel members. So I rolled up to Papa. I was like, all right, you got the first JDAM. Where do you want it? He calls in the JDAM. It goes in. It was successful. It was sort of a successful mission.
18 and 1, I think is what the first.
Yeah, no, that was the first one. You got it was 18 and 8. You had 8 friendlies.
Did he pull another aftermath?
We told them to leave, and they all left, and then some started coming back in as the JDAM was coming. That's right.
And you got the XO. That was the first time, right? So I was like, all right, you're dead. Whatever.
No, I thought I got the XO back to back.
That was the first one. You got him on the first one.
I had like 4 or 5 JDAMs altogether.
You had 4. There was 4. We gave extra one to each side at the very end because we were just like the last 15 minutes of the game was like, okay, guys, which is going to be pertinent here. So then I go over. I was like, where do you want your JDAM at? So he goes, I go to Whiskey, and Whiskey goes, talk to Killjoy. Call to Killjoy. Where do you want this JDAM at? He calls the JDAM in, and it was another successful hit. He hit C3 or C4, I believe, and it was like 20 enemy KIA, like 5 friendly KIA. All right, cool. 20 minutes later, go back to Papa. Where do you want this next one? I was like, right here. It was like, that was the biggest one I think you got. It was like 30 KIA.
It was 30
and 0. I was like, good hit on target. 30 dead. It was C4. Yeah. Then I went over and I said, so I went back over to Killjoy. I was like, all right, where do you want yours at? And he goes, I want it right on C2. I was like, I went over to C2. And as I'm rolling up, I stop out there because I wanted to run in quick to get the JDAM done. I stopped right by those doors that you shoot through. Ange was sitting beside me. She's just ducked down in a fetal position because there's a firefight going on. I go inside and boom. It was 8 and 8. And they also got some Dark Horse 6. It was a great kill. It was a wash because it was like 12 and 8. It was like he got 8 friendlies. Sorry. And then you dropped another JDAM right back on C2 again. That's when your radio went down because you're like, I was like, where do you want this? Because I kept hearing C3.
That one, your wife was laughing. I thought she was going to fall over. I'm yelling C2, and you're like, C3? I'm like, C2. You're like, C3? I'm like, TOTWOTOOTU. However you have to say C2.
And you're saying
two.
So then all of a sudden somebody comes back. He said C3. I was like, oh, okay. So C3, and you're like, "You motherfucker! You drop it on walking."
I said my exact quote, and I apologize in advance if anybody takes offense, was, "If you drop that on C3, I will come out there and prison rape you." That is exactly what I said.
And I go, "See deuce," and you're like, "Yes." I was like, "All right, C2 it is." Roll in. He does another successful one. You got like 2 friendlies, but you killed you killed off all the cartel, and you got the XO again. I was like, "All right." Cartel, I
Huge
think
fucking fist.
then dropped on B2 and got a bunch of enemy and then like 2 friendlies. But the funniest one that I thought that was there, right? So we do an airdrop for both Cartel and DEA. We dropped DEA right over between Alpha and Bravo at the concrete thing. I was like, okay, guys, go. We dropped in the last 15 minutes of the game. Go.
John, if you look back down, he did apologize. He was mistaken. He already said it. So that's already happened. That's already happened. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to address that. Keep talking.
Yeah.
I got it.
So then I go drop Cartel over at the Alpha block, like right between all the Alphas, right? I go riding up to Killjoy, and I go see him inside of C2. I was like, where do you want this last JDAM? And he goes, I want an Alpha 3. I was like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah. He goes, Alpha 3. I was like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, Alpha 3. I walk away, and I can't say anything, but I am giggling to myself. This is going to be funny. Hopefully those guys moved away from the building. So me and 2 other admins, we roll up there, and we look, and sure as shit, there's 8 friendlies. There's 8 Dark Horse 6. It's 5 minutes left to go. I was like, you know what? We did the math. We counted up how many the kills were, and we just let them shoot it out. Like they're shooting last 30 seconds. I was like, JDAM. Steve Tom comes out. He was JDAM 4 times by like 2 by both sides. During his, he goes, I got JDAM again. I was like, we let you guys find it out. I did drop it on the wrong building.
When
shut up.
When Killjoy came walking up, he's just shaking his head at me like this. He goes walking off the field. You know what that was, and I know some people had problems with it, but for those that didn't, it was true. It was the guys were high fiving, backslapping the whole thing. It was there were some guys that had a really good time. There was a lot of fun to be had. a lot of good moments.
Yep.
And if you focus on the good, that's what you'll see. And I don't get out there to play enough. Some people know that, some people don't. I don't get to play nearly as much as I want to. So when I get to, it's a great time.
And I will say, Whiskey had an excuse to stay there because of his back, right? But you, Wiener, Killjoy were in the action throughout the entire weekend. And that's so one of the things that, for those of you who don't know that haven't been to events before, we want our XOs and COs to be out there so they can be captured. Because if they are captured, they're worth more points.
Somebody said they were coming for me.
Yep.
God, I forget where it came. They said they were actually coming for me, and something happened like at the last minute or whatever. There was some reason they couldn't get me. But they said they were. I think it was in a different stream. I think it might have been last night, or maybe I saw a post or something about it. But it was really funny because I like the idea, and I welcome that for sure. I will definitely. I'll definitely take that. I'll defend myself all day.
Thanks, Edward. You guys, Dark Horse 6 held down that top.
They won. They kicked their ass.
Actually, you guys pushed them up to the 3rd floor.
You sick a platoon on me.
That's correct.
That's funny.
It was. Yep.
We kept doing. I did hear somebody complain something about. I don't know if you told me or if Tucon told me, but somebody was upset because I kept saying something about take the corridor. And it was all, they were like, that's all they wanted. Okay. Buck, that's Johnny's Facebook page. If you guys want to have a conversation, so it's kind of offline, please do. And if you need a mediator, I'm happy to do it. So if you want to create a chat, I'm happy to do it.
Got it.
But somebody said that I heard that somebody was complaining about like taking the corridor and things like that. When you're playing in a more organized milsim type game, there's a lot of fun. You want to get in firefights, you want to do all that, but at the same time, there are tactics involved. And what maybe some people didn't realize is owning that BCD corridor, what I referred to as the corridor right there. If we owned that, we owned the game. That was the key right there. If you own that, you own the whole game. You're taking all of the points off the table, and that was what the key was. And moving people around, getting them to different places. We absolutely tried to do that. And I didn't keep anyone in one place that they didn't want to be, but definitely wanted to get them all pushed around.
Yeah,
would really appreciate if you. Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. I absolutely will do. I'll create it, but we'll do it after the stream if you guys are okay with that.
There was definitely some funny moments and stuff that happened. Like the guys that did the cartel guys from Anonymous that did the mission. I don't think they knew what they were getting into with the Nikolai mission, and after a while they had to switch out the guy that was on my left arm because I was just slinging him around. And I'm like, all right. Then we get up to the stairs and we're like, okay. We get up to the stairs and I lock my legs on the lower step, like lock my knees so they can't go. They had all four of them had to push me. And as soon as I got upright straight, I was like, all right, admin, we're walking up the stairs now. But there was
I'm listening.
Oh, the bougie bar, the whiskey bar. So it was really funny, like getting wrestled around. One of my guns fell out of where it was hidden, like on me. It fell out. I was like, son of a bitch. Papa, you're lucky DEA found it as well, because if it didn't fall out of my arm padding, you're going to come walking up and I was just going to go, it was a little Springer silver pistol about yay big.
Oh.
And you come walking up and I was like, I was so mad because all the weapons got put away when they came in. So I give the DEA credit. When they came into that room, they were looking everywhere for every melee weapon I had, and they put them all away. And I didn't have anything to hit you with or them with. No, Zeb, no. One of the things that did come up that somebody made a suggestion on was maybe using, like, for when it comes down to the different styles of airstrikes, like you have airstrikes, mortars, and JDAMs. Airstrikes take out a grid or an entire grid or two. Mortars take out only the outside. JDAMs take out a building. Is to signify at least outside, because I don't want to be doing the things with those chalk gender reveals things where you just. So, I'll have the video for the Nikolai mission up soon. I got to go through edit it. I haven't done anything. I got back here and I was been dealing with all this stuff. No glitter. No freaking glitter. It's powder. No goddamn glitter. I didn't have a color code for each side so you guys know who did what. I mean, that was actually a good suggestion. We'll do that in the future because that's one of the things that this site needs is more airstrike stuff to take out buildings and how that thing goes. I know you found glitter in the school and it all got thrown away. Thank you for finding it, though, because Zeb would have found it and it would have been on me and I would have been pissed.
I would have laughed.
So, with that being said, I think we're at a good slowdown stopping point. Like when it comes down to, yeah, we haven't done one of these streams like over an hour and a half in a while.
Good God.
We're at 2:09. But what I will say is that going back to the whole Battle of Six Flags, I would say, guys, don't go to Mir. Just don't. The way that happened was bullshit. Don't do it. Just
Can you
go to VFA.
Papa, you gonna have a talk with him, with Alex, or you decide not to?
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna talk
There's
about.
no
Yeah, I'm gonna have a call with him tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. Hang on 1 second. I gotta do something here real quick.
Augie, anyone go to the whiskey bar? You asked anybody to go to the whiskey bar there?
Somebody did,
Yeah.
And it was overpriced or highly priced. But I said there was the whiskey bar there. I didn't say that
Yeah,
place was
said-
cheap.
Will
In fact,
you,
I think I mentioned.
Put that in the chat for Brad.
Sure. There you go, Brad.
And
I think Smurf's gonna have to redo it.
Johnny, I sent you a message request You just have to agree to the message request before we can start messaging it. Facebook doesn't allow me to even search you up, but if you would do that, then I can actually open up the chat. Thank you, bud. Don't forget to
Yeah, but
Jason,
Nika, I don't want to be cleaning up confetti off the AO either.
you have a great night, Augie. I'll talk to you later.
Take care, brother.
Take care.
Love you, man. Squirrel.
Our banana. That's Keelan. That is something to you to ask the cruise on. Wow.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that either.
Although we have seen that on the cruise though.
Oh, that's right. That one guy did have it, didn't he?
Yeah. He had a bigger gut than I had.
You're talking about a guy that had all the confidence in the world.
Oh, no kidding. He was out there.
He was wearing a Borat style one with his gut whoop, bigger than my gut.
Yeah, bigger than
mine. And I was just like, the confidence. That's it. That's all you can say. Holy shit. Were they good at least, or was it like not good?
Hey, Smurf, I just want to say hi. I didn't say hi earlier. Sorry.
And that's also Smurf also did an awesome job.
Oh yeah, she did registration. Yep.
She did fantastic. The
holy shish kebabs! It's 9:12.
Yeah, we're about to wrap this up, guys. So, with all that being said, let's go through the stuff that's coming up. What's there? So,
hey, Damien, how you doing, man?
What's up, Damien? You all right, bro? How's your
car?
What happened?
Damien from
Damien got in a car accident. That's why he wasn't there.
He was supposed to be there.
On his way, he got in a car accident.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So, so look, if you guys were at this event and you didn't hear it at the thing, because we are going to be checking this, there is a promo code beta test, and that was the tongue-in-cheek that we did because we realized that there was errors. We gave you $50 off a future event. So if you guys want, if you're going to go to Geigerland's Yellow Dog Scorched Earth, it's a $50 promo code. Just put in beta test, all one word, no spaces, lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter, and it'll get you that discount. So we actually have Geigerland's June 7th, which is through the 9th, which is completely different experience than what you guys have with Milsim. It's a Fallout themed game. You guys can camp out on the AO. There's actually times where the weapons come off the field. Updated rule set for that is dropping with next week with all the stuff about the perks and all that. That's all going to be updated in there. And that game is a lot of fun. And it's going to work really well for this AO. Other than that, we'll be at Airsoft Palooza. I'm making the trip there. I think Wiener's going to as well.
Mine too. Yeah, I got to see how my trip goes next week.
Where are you going next week again?
Pigeon Forge. Actually, I'm going up to St. Louis, then down to Pigeon Forge.
Oh, you're going to go see your Canadian girlfriend?
No, my age-appropriate girlfriend. Canadian girlfriend.
You met her at Niagara Falls. You wouldn't know
her. Exactly.
Some people not born in this millennia that don't know that joke. So.
Yeah, I know that joke. Hey, Wiener.
Yo.
Uh,
It looks like the flight's only like $100 and something dollars.
That's to go to.
Hey, Grey Wolf, how are you, buddy?
Houston. Yeah.
Oh, Houston.
$108. So round trip. Oh wait, that's for Fort Lauderdale. Hold on, let me check MCO.
Yeah, MCO should be about the same. On which
It
airline?
It might actually be cheaper.
Which airline?
Spirit.
Okay. Yeah, I got all kinds of extra points with Spirit now.
It's actually how early depends on how early you want to go, but Frontier has a flight there for $73.
That's two there. Yep. I still need to, unless you're driving out there, which you're not.
Okay.
You're flying.
So thank you guys for joining this evening. It was wonderful having you out on the stream. Even though there was some aggression and things like that, I apologize for my poor behavior earlier. Briefly the character. Thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, Grey Wolf.
I'll keep everybody informed as to what I
wrap up
is there.
Wrap up time. Wrap up time. All right, wrap up
Didn't mean to
time.
interrupt your casual moment with
I
Wiener.
know. Sorry, I was just trying to get Wiener to come with and hang out at this place. All right, so we have Airsoft. We have Jack's Fest hosted by Veterans for
May
Airsoft,
25th.
May 25th up in Jacksonville. We actually get to see a battleship. The three of us are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very next weekend is going to be it's going to be Airsoft Palooza. If you guys have never been to one, it's actually a really cool location. You get to see a lot of cool things. That's going to be a blast. Weekend after, or the weekend after that is Geigerlands at Mid Orange Correctional. I don't have anything else for June. The next thing I don't have until September, which is September 13th or 15th through 17th. 2 seconds. 13th through 15th at Mid Orange Correctional for Yellow Dog Outbreak. That's our infected style game, and then of course, when is the Battle for New Orleans? A battle for
September 22nd. Is that what it is?
Yep.
The 2nd, 23rd, 24th.
Day before Dom's birthday.
Yep. And then the next month is Operation.
That's the very next weekend. So the very next weekend after.
There's actually 2 in October.
And then we have some stuff coming up. Then we have Wiener's event in October.
Yep. But also the week before is going to be back at TCA's event back at.
That's the new one. That's the.
Yeah, that's the new game. Yeah, the new game that they're going to have back at where Bone Crusher was at.
Okay.
Yep, back there.
Hopefully we get more.
Hours. Yep.
All right.
We'll get more information.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Joker for Players Wanted. With me is the man, the myth, the legend of the shortest stature but biggest heart, Greg Paparisi from Dead End Outfitters, and Wiener from New Breed. It's not a party till he comes out. Wiener from New Breed Airsoft. See, I almost screwed up there. I almost missed it. With all that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being a part of this. We thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for you guys for being here at the end of the stream. And we'll see you next week at our regular time, Tuesday, 7 p.m. From the barracks. Players Wanted, signing off. Until next time, may your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hits. Good night.
Squirrel!